What is up, y'all? My name is Scarlet, aka Scarty B if you nasty, and we are here live in Philadelphia with Fresh Squeeez Sip One. Can we please give it a big old year and just get it started? The good old Philly way. Absolutely. I'm super excited to kick off this conversation. We got three incredible gentlemen here making a lot of noise in the industry, and they're here to show you and teach you how to do the same. But before we start, big shout out to Lemonade for organizing, Taste Creators for hosting, and y'all for being here, because again, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me and I appreciate you. I am super excited to kick this off, especially because we need to give a big welcome to On the Radar Radio for celebrating the end of their residency here in Philly with us. Thank y'all for showing love. Thank y'all for being here. Some house rules. We all want to learn, but we all want to talk. But if you do have any conversations, please step away or outside. Other than that, please respect your neighbors, because we're trying to talk and I'm trying to hear these gentlemen over here. But please help me welcome our panelists, John Wigfall, Tom Manning, and John Nurse. One time. How y'all feeling?
Good. You?
Just good. I'm great. How's everybody going over here?
We talked to the mic, my boy.
No,
Great. Here we go, right? Same question.
I wasn't looking. I'm good though. How you doing?
I love it. We're here. It's a beautiful Friday night. I couldn't be any more excited to be here and talking to y'all, especially on a cause of what y'all do and the noise that y'all are making. So can you please one by one just introduce yourselves and talk to us about what you do?
Yeah. So I'm John Wigfall. I'm from Camden, New Jersey. I do a lot of work here out in Philly. I wear probably several different hats, but the main ones I'll talk about is I'm a professor, an adjunct professor at Rowan University. So I teach hip-hop culture, everything from Kool Herc in 1973 to 50 Cent, Lil Uzi, the whole nine. And I also teach PR in the music industry there as well. So I'm actually at the Glassboro, New Jersey campus. But I'm also an artist manager, so I manage several different artists, most of which reside in the Philadelphia, Jersey area. I've been doing that for about 10 plus years now. So.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can hear me? There we go. Gotta sit up for this. All right.
Okay, all right. Yeah, me too.
I'm John Nurse. I'm the CEO of On the Radar Records. I also do artist relations and brand partnerships for the podcast side, along with my counterpart, Toby. I also do artist management. So I have like 3 artists, 2 producers right now, 2 of which are the main producers for On the Radar. You know what I mean? So a lot of the freestyles that you see coming up, they do the beats for that. And I'm born and raised in Brooklyn.
I love that. Welcome.
Absolutely. I was waiting like, damn, it's on me now?
It's on you.
My name's Tom. Tom Manning, but most notably Tom Flies, which is my alias. I don't like to be called Tom Flies, but it is what it is. Stuck with me at this point. I'm from South Philly, so right here. Well, not here, but here. I am a producer for BreakBeat Media, most notably the Don't Call Me White Girl podcast. I produce. I'm the lead producer. Funny Cornbread TV with Funny Marco. I've produced. Trash Talk with Bubba Dub, I produced. Countless shows that I've produced on BreakBeat Media. Most notably, too, I also had a podcast here called Tapped In with Tom Flies, where I sat down, tapped in with the music scene. So that's why I wanted to make sure I had to do this. On the Radar came to the city. Let's see, what else? Did I forget anything?
We're going to learn all about it. Well, let's give it up one more time for our panelists here today joining us. Now, where we come from, sometimes says a lot about who we are. Can y'all please describe your upbringing and, how it influences what you do today and who you do it for?
I don't know where to start.
Camden,
yeah, Camden, New Jersey. Rough city, obviously right outside of Philly. But I think for me personally, it was just trying to, like many of us that are creatives, right? It's finding that way to express yourself, finding that way to vent, finding that avenue that makes you feel good. And a allows you to kind of pour back into the world. So I think for me early on, it was journalism, documenting stuff. I was the kid in high school running around with a camcorder, vlogging all the trips, and that eventually trickled down into, or was a domino effect into me wanting to be a journalism major, going to college, and then eventually switching to PR because I saw the journalism majors were miserable and sad all the time. So
You only wanted to be sad some of the time.
some of the time, yeah. I mean, PR probably wasn't the better route per se. It's still as stressful as hell, but I went that avenue and I was thankful for it. But my upbringing was, it was Camden, so it was rough. But like many of us, once again, especially if you grew up in Philly, you're looking for a way out, you're looking for opportunity, and if you're a hustler, you're gonna find a way.
Thank you so much for sharing. How about over here? How has where you came from influenced everything you do?
At this point, it's everything. 'Cause I was born and raised in Brooklyn. The only place I ever lived outside of Brooklyn was Buffalo, and that wasn't it.
We don't claim it.
We okay with it?
No, we don't claim it.
Okay, yeah. But I was raised in Brooklyn around the 90s, was kind of a lot rougher than it is now. A lot of gentrification has happened now.
Yeah, Red Hook has a Target, so.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was in Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, I heard about that place. I ain't go to it. My mom wouldn't let me.
There's nothing there.
But being from Brooklyn, especially with the platform on the radar, it was started, especially based around the drill scene at the moment. So, and when Brooklyn drill really came to rise, a lot of that was happening in the city. So, just being able to tap into the new forms of music, especially me being, tapped in with the old forms of music, it just kind of collided in a way where, all right, we can really push the culture forward in a way that's positive, as opposed to, getting a lot of the young kids light, a lot of the old heads light that might have fizzled off a little bit, and just keep going from there.
Thank you. What's up, Tom?
Philly, I feel like I embody Philly in everything I do, to be honest. Even when I'm OT, out of city, out of state, I couldn't be more proud of where I'm from. My story is a lot like everybody else in this room. I didn't grow up too different. Single parent household, a lot of siblings. Like you were saying, like running the streets, trying to find a way through. I feel like the result of me being here was me trying to do everything right. But everything I did was the effect of everything not going right. So literally, like me growing up, I had my son when I was 20. I had to leave school because I was working a job as well, and I had to take care of a newborn. So I was like, I couldn't do all three. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and go to work, take care of my kid, and just figure it out. But that ultimately made me, I was just getting into podcasting. Throughout the time I sat in the crib with my son, trying to, just trying to raise him, I taught myself how to do everything in media. So editing audio, visual, how to create a website, marketing, every single thing. Every day in that room, I sat and taught myself something new, so that when I got done, I'd be able to do, you need something done, I can get it done. I go nowhere else, don't call nobody, I can do everything myself. And just the environment, the atmosphere, like, I carry it with me everywhere, man. Like I'm more appreciative of the city and who it made me than anything else.
Absolutely. All three of these locations are super lucky to have y'all, because really the through line that I hear between all three is how important storytelling is and how important it is to develop your voice in storytelling. Can y'all share a little bit about the journey to finding y'all's voice? What is the story y'all wanted to tell, and how are you telling it?
I think it just, and I think both of these guys can relate. I think it just starts by leading by example. Recognizing that our story is unique and that, we have the opportunity to maybe be the first to do something, or be the first to do something a different way. So for me, I think that was really important. And, you don't go into, your story recognizing, okay, I'm doing something different per se. It's just, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to execute this. I have this idea. I have this plan. And then somewhere along the way, you realize, okay, I have something here. I think for me personally, I started to recognize like the power of my own story by the time I started teaching, and I had that opportunity to educate others on music business and just these things that they wouldn't have learned. So.
I mean, you can head on in. I mean, I was also going to ask if it supports y'all, and how could everybody's story is the best story, right? Because that's the whole point, right? It's my story is the best story. But how do you cut through the noise? How do you establish a unique vision within your story so that way your community can find you?
Well, for me, it's all been about networking, really. In my career, because I worked for Atlantic Records, BET, Sony Music, I've been told many times I've been too loud, I've been too quiet, I done had too many parties, you know what I mean? But my biggest thing for my story, I guess, would be perseverance. Basically staying there to come up. A lot of people quit early right before they reach that gold mine, and just keep on going to what you believe in, really, and believe that you have something special to offer to this industry and something special to offer to this world, really. Is the biggest thing. Like, I'll tell everybody, like, in business alone, the thing that will make you stand out is your niche. Like, what makes you stand out from Facebook or Instagram, or, you gotta have something different about you. And for me, it was like a big thing with networking. Like, when I was at Sony, my boss would always say, like, why does everybody in this building know your name? Like, she was just very confused. Like, people from different floors would come down, the security knows my name, the janitor, like, the head of RCA, like, why does everybody know your name? Because, like, why would they not? If you just box yourself in, because a lot of times, especially in major labels, they want you to, like, if you work in promotion, they want you to stay in promotion. And you work in marketing, you want you to stay in marketing. I've always been an entrepreneur where I have my own business or something like that, so I feel like I'm multifaceted. So I'm like, if I can learn something from each outlet, I'm always gonna be valuable. And if I can network across the building, not just the floor, I'm gonna stay valuable. So for me, it's always been like, staying down to get down, till you come up, and just the networking.
Tom?
Yeah, for me, it was more so about faith. Like, my faith in myself is stronger than anything else. Like, there was literally nothing anybody could tell me about anything working for me. Like, I've always felt like I belong with everyone else. Other people I looked up to, and I would come to meet these people along the way, and I always felt like when I walk in rooms, like, I don't get starstruck. I don't feel like, I can't believe I'm next to. I always feel like I belong here. Like, so for me, it was more so just living in the moment, and then taking the time when I look back, it's like, oh, wow, I really did come from running up on this person and doing this and that, like, in comparison to where I'm at today. So, and also being consistent, like you said, persevering as well, but just remain consistent. Like, I ain't gonna say I'm the most talented person that, in this industry. So, a million people that enter this industry every single day. But I'm gonna stay on top of everything, and I'm gonna work harder than every single body else in front of me, every single body around me. And that's how I stay on top.
I love that. Thank y'all for sharing. Now, we all started at the very start, not even the bottom, but the start. Can y'all tell us about this one decision, this one risk that y'all took that you feel like paid off and put y'all where you are?
I think for me, it was a mutual risk. A lot of friends, a lot of familiar faces in the buildings. I manage an artist by the name of Mir Fontaine. So I was 18 years old, or maybe 19, I don't even know, just freshman in college. And around the same time, I was switching to becoming this PR major, and that was the same time I realized instead of being a mediocre rapper, I wanted to be a quality artist manager. I wanted to kind of be behind the scenes, and I wanted to help other people get the spotlight. But you can't be an artist manager if you don't have anybody to manage. So, going back to the hometown comment, right? I was kind of looking back at Camden, New Jersey, and trying to figure out, like, who's talented here, who's a notable name that, would be worth working with. And, he stood out like a sore thumb. And, I took a risk of kind of switching careers, but, in college, I guess it's not even a career just yet, but, just switching a passion. And it was worth it because, we accomplished a lot together, and it was a domino effect. Managing him and receiving these different accolades, and, whatever. stages, the performances, the streams. It's cool, but then it led me to different opportunities, being able to work with other big names in Jersey and in Philly and so on and so forth across the country. So, yeah.
Thank you. Any big risk that we remember that really put y'all where y'all are?
For me, it was, again, in college also. I was a part of an entertainment group, like promotion company, and I feel like I wasn't getting my just due, so I stepped out and did my own thing, really, for the most part. And my first show was a Drake concert, Drake's first sold-out show. And I kind of put all my eggs in one basket with that one. You know what I'm saying? And God willing, it all panned out. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know what I bring to the table. And for me to be overlooked and, you know what I mean? I'm like, let me just do my own thing. So really, it comes back to just believing in yourself, believing what you add value to, believing, you know what I mean, what you can bring to the table. And I put all my eggs in that one basket with the Drake show, and like, I feel like every minor album he has, he mentions it. Up until recently, we had him on the radar, and we had a full circle moment about the whole show. You know what I mean? That kind of went real viral for us. I'm like, okay. And it's just funny, he actually remembers it detail by detail. I'm like, oh, he told me shit about the story I didn't even know. I'm like, that's crazy. But it just reminded me, like, yo, for us, it was kind of a full circle all around, because I'm like, all right, for you, that was your first sold-out show. For me, that's my first sold-out show. You know what I mean? Like, if you really believe you can do something, just kind of go for it. And that, like, spearheaded my whole career from that point on. Every time I doubt myself, I remind myself of that moment, like, nah, you can do this. You done been did this.
I love that.
Yeah, for me, it was, actually, I remember vividly, it was me leaving my first platform. My first podcast I did, I started with my two homies. But, you know, when we was 3 years in, we started to have, like, creative differences. Like, I wanted to go this way, they wanted to go that way. When we got down to the business side of things, it was like everybody felt like they, you know, who was the leader? You know, who do we follow? And we couldn't come to terms all together. So I just separated myself at the time, and, you know, they continued the podcast, and I was starting fresh. I was starting over. But I was like, you know, like I said, I always said, those are my guys still. Like, it's no bad blood, nothing like that. It's just business. But, you know, I was like, all right, this is gonna give me the time to kind of work on myself and work on my craft and see what I can do. So that prompted me to start my solo series called Tapped In, which actually was a lot of artists in the city right now. It's first co-sign in the city. Guys like the Philly Goats, I was their first co-sign, first interview they did. I put them up. Too Rare, Armani White, all the artists that's kind of big right now in the city. I was their first show they came on and kind of was their co-sign. And then me partnering with Don't Call Me White Girl, her taking a chance, trusting me to be the lead producer, creatively on the show, to create a show from the ground up. Just fresh off our exit from $1 Million Worth of Game. You know, we was sitting on the phone trying to figure out a direction. She trusted me to go, you know, in that direction, and we created something that is very, very, very popular. A lot of the people call me by my government name, all the fans. I don't really appreciate that, but it is what it is. But yeah, that was a big risk I took, leaving that podcast to kind of just go out on my own. But, you know, we got to take risks.
Absolutely. Risk, confidence, community, you make it. Now, another through line that I'm feeling is you don't get to choose what you're famous for, right? You don't get to choose what goes viral, what pops off. How would an artist prepare for that? How can you make the most of a big moment, from artist to brand to, you know, viral moment or podcast?
Oh, me? I got comfortable with the way it was going, my bad. How do you make the most of a big moment? You just got to capitalize off it. Like, honestly, like I feel like I'm in this weird space now where I'm saying all of the cliche things people would tell me, and I would get so mad. Like, it's like, oh, this is so cliche. Like, I could tell myself this, but now I feel like I'm regurgitating everything, and it's like I believe it now, so I can see now I'm in their foot. I'm like, damn, yeah, it really is this way. Work hard. Like, that's really all it is. But yeah, I just say just capitalize off the moment, man. Like, it's a way to I feel like you can, in a sense, kind of choose what you're famous for strategically, if it's a strategy behind it. You can put it out there and, you know, craft it the way and let it be seen the way you want it to be seen. So, yeah, I would say you gotta just capitalize off whatever it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you said, capitalize off the moment. Like, you keep the energy on go, like, you know what I mean? Something's gonna spark off, and when it sparks off, you just gotta keep feeding the people. I mean, you got people that gonna look back to your old stuff, but they also gonna see what you got coming next. So you gotta keep feeding the people. Like, if your foot was on go, don't come off go. That's it, really. And I mean, as far as staying humble, just what works for me is keeping around a lot of the same people that were there from when I had nothing. The people that had zero with me, and just happy to see you make it, because that comes with like jealousy. Then you got people that really want to take your spot, but the people who are just proud to see you make it, they keep you humble and keep you working. You know what I mean? If you focus on the negativity, then you're gonna be like, you're gonna get into depression, you're gonna start slumping. Only way to keep your foot on go is to focus on the positive and surround yourself with the people that really love you. Because especially in this industry, there's a lot of people that say a lot of things but don't mean it.
I think it's just to keep it short, it's that consistency, having the system in place. So, you know, you do go viral, you do have that moment, that opportunity, that call comes in. You know, you already have a system in place. So, you know, it's not like you're scrambling when that opportunity rises. You know, so having a system in place. So if you've been dropping a song a week, you're still going to drop a song a week regardless of whatever label calls you, whatever opportunity arises. So, consistency, having a system, that's what matters.
A question that I get asked a lot is, who do I need on my team? Not only do I want to ask what makes a good team, but how can you be a good teammate? We have independent artists, independent business owners, and it takes a team to make stuff happen. So one, how can we build a strong team? And two, how can you be a strong team player?
Well, if I could answer the strong team player first, just because I vividly remember, and I mean, even to this day, right, like you still repeat a lot of the same things as an artist manager. I know when I first started, it was very much just trying to prove myself, trying to show the artist that I cared, right? Like, so, whether I'm carrying the guitar, whether I'm carrying, your bags, whatever the case may be, like just showing that support and, not letting ego get in the way of me trying to help you, right? Because at the end of the day, as an artist manager, you are, maybe a well-paid assistant, to say the least, right? Like, and hopefully well-paid, and especially in the earlier days, may not be no pay at all, but you still have to work the same. You still have to show and prove and show and prove again. So I think that's kind of being the role player. At times, you have to wear multiple hats. I know when I first started, I was the, some of which I do nothing of this now, so to speak, but I was the editor, I was the filming, I was the photographer, I was booking shows, right? Wearing all of these hats, and hopefully you get to the point where you don't have to wear as many hats, and you can start to assemble the team that you're referring to in the first question. So I think it all depends on where the artist is at. Some people need managers, some people don't, right? You don't really need a manager if there's nothing to manage, right? And I think a lot of people.
I can't take 20% of zero,
So people have to keep that in mind, right? Like, you kind of have to build up some things for yourself before it even makes sense to bring on certain people. A lot of artists, you might bring on several people to your team, and now everyone's getting a percentage. When that first check comes in, or whatever the case may be, now 8 people are eating off of you, and you didn't even really get to see what it felt like for yourself, by have that check to enjoy on your own. So, there's so many different team members that I could name, but I think it all depends on where you're at.
Absolutely, thank you.
I will say you asking a lot of very in-depth questions. Good for you. Got me thinking over here.
Thank you. I be doing this.
You be doing this. You really do. But like John said, I think the biggest thing is the ego thing. On the Radar is a team of 5 to 7 people. We're not big at all. Like, a lot of people be like, why you ain't answer my email? Nick, because I ain't get to it yet. Like, we're a team I'm home.
We're off.
Like, it's a team of 5 to 7 people. So I'm like, the biggest thing is to be like, not to have an ego, because with this 5 to 7 people, we're all doing wearing multiple hats. And sometimes I'm a whole CEO of a record label and I'm about to go get some guy coffee just because Rob need to finish his editing. We have back-to-back cities right now. We're on tour. Like, that don't get done unless somebody's doing it. And I'm not doing it. So I'm like, you know
delegate.
What? You need a coffee? I'm going to go get that for you. Don't worry about it. It's just kind of not only playing your position, but also knowing when to fill a position is the biggest thing I would say. I mean, for any upcoming artists, I think a lot of the big thing will come to, maybe not necessarily A&R if you have a manager, because your manager should be able to help you in the studio, but a PR and a marketing person for sure to help you stand out from the rest of the crowd, kind of point you in the right direction, is my biggest thing. Really, I think a good PR is very helpful to help you get that looks.
Absolutely.
Shout out Toby.
Shout out Toby. What's up, Tom?
I feel like the most important piece to me, like I said earlier, to piggyback, I had an issue where I split from my original team because we ran into the issue that nobody understood their role in their team. We got to a head where it was like, well, dang, who is the person that handles this and does this? Like, and we couldn't all agree. So you got to know your role. Knowing your role I feel like is the most important part. That way, you good at setting up the equipment, and that's your role. If you good at putting the lemons on the table, that's what you do. Like, you know, it really.
Shout out to whoever put the lemons on the table. Go crazy.
But I feel like you got to know your role, man. That's, to me, like, that's the most essential part. Just knowing your role. And again, like I said, egos too. You can't let your ego get in the way. Everybody is equally as important to the team.
So everybody has a lot of hats to wear, regardless if you're starting or if you're already on the go. But Tom, specifically, I have a question for you. So I just started my podcast and I'm wearing all the hats on it, but can you tell the audience a little bit more about your role as a producer and maybe some like less glorified, like less visible things that the world doesn't see that makes the show go?
Yeah, so I get asked that question a lot too.
The smile says it all.
Because I tell people all the time, like, okay, so people take what they see, right? Don't Call Me White Girl right now. That's everyone's podcast. So you see my work on there, but a lot of it is masked. It's her personality. Like, so we get on there. A lot of things are about design that we do on that show. Like even it goes into the runtime, the clips we decide to market. Every single thing is done by design. It's strategically placed right there. I don't want to take all the credit, but that's why it's there. So if I was to partner with anybody in this room and do a podcast, 200 people in here, it's going to be 200 different podcasts. Like, nobody's show is going to be the same one. Your personalities will make you different. So how can we now work around a way to kind of make this work? You feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people come to me and they see, I want to be Don't Call Me White Girl. And it's like, but you aren't Don't Call Me White Girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you aren't this person. I want you to be you. Let's find a way to make this profitable, so we can market this and make the best content we can create and give it to the world, and then obviously see if they like it. And if they don't, then, let's go back in the lab and see what we got to do to work at it. So I would say just know what works for you and work around that.
So being part of the culture, having your ear to the ground and paying attention.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Absolutely. John, I have a quick question for you, John Wigfall, and then I'm going right over here. So nowadays as artists, while we're wearing all these hats, we are the booker, the manager, the press consultant. Some people feel like sending a cold email isn't leading anywhere anymore, but like, what are some tips that you can give to someone to send a strong pitch, a strong cold email to someone who can support them?
I think it starts with research, right? I think it's having this understanding of who you're reaching out to, right? So you're talking about traditional press, like blog outlet, right? It's who has this journalist covered in the past? Have they covered similar artists to myself? Do they like or support similar artists to myself, right? I think it's starting with the research and making sure that your pitch is even directed to the right person. I think from there, it's understanding what the journalist or whoever it is, the producer, like this, it can really be applied to anything, but, what are they looking for, right? Is this song or this album, whatever you're promoting, is it timely? Does it really make sense for this publication, this outlet to support it? And if so, really hone in on why, right? Like, make it very clear in the subject, make it very clear across the board. Feel free to even bold things in the subject. Keep it concise. Have a one sheet or an EPK if you're a little bit more of an established act. Making sure that you have all of these assets available and ready to go. Back to the previous question, when that opportunity or that time arises, you're giving everything that they would ask for anyway, well in advance. So.
So what I'm hearing is answer their questions before they ask,
Absolutely.
and you make somebody's job a whole lot easier.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know myself as well as an artist manager, I don't ask a venue, hey, let me know when. I go, no, I know this person's coming to town. Here's the date. I want to do your job for you so you can have my artist on.
Yeah, save people. You want to save people time, right? Like, we're all super busy. We're all ripping and running. We got 70 different tabs open on our laptop, right? Like, you know.
7?
Nah.
Minimum.
Not me personally, but I'm just saying we're all super busy, you know. So the person you're trying to reach out to, you have to keep their time in mind. You have to be considerate, you know. So the more you can provide them, the better. So that way, if they do choose to support you in any type of way, you know, they already have what they need.
What are some good questions that people have asked you that have led to the best advice?
So wait, good questions for
Yeah, like what is a good question that someone can ask you when they're actually asking for advice to get the best out of you?
I don't fucking know either. Goddamn.
Period. Great question.
I mean, I want to think of.
Why don't we come back, John? We can talk real quick, right?
Damn.
Everything. You're doing the most. No, I'm kidding. So we talked a little bit about establishing your voice, getting ready as a creative. And now, how do you know when someone is ready for the On the Radar platform?
I mean, a lot goes into that. I mean, not a lot.
Well, then let's talk.
Not a lot, but enough. First of all, don't DM me. I hate that.
Don't DM.
That pisses me off. And when you do DM me, at least, like I said, have everything laid out. Like, I'm a busy guy, like very busy guy. And I try to carve time out for my personal life if I can. So when you DM me, and first of all, there's no links attached to the DM, and I gotta do extra work just to find you, that's a no-no. That's first and foremost. I'm like, all right, that just lost my complete interest because you wasted my time. You know what I mean? Be wise enough to have your Spotify, your Apple, your YouTube, and everything attached to the DM if you're going to choose to do that. All right? 2, I like professional emails. Like, you don't got to be a brainiac, but I'm from New York where they constantly DM me, yo, my heart. I don't know you, fam.
Who?
I don't know you. Don't hit me with the my heart and then just leave no links.
My
Like, yo, I'm
heart
trying to
is
get on the radar.
crazy.
It'd be that way. That was actually the funniest email I ever got. I kept laughing at that one for days, but I'm like, you can't be serious.
No, that one's really good. I might start the next one with that one.
It don't gotta be completely professional. I'm not saying like have a like
My heart, sir.
somebody but it should be some type of formatted, not just you reaching out on a whim with just slang talking like, bro, you don't even take yourself seriously. You writing like that. You know what I mean? And at least have something in motion. A lot of people want to hit you with nothing going on. They just had one song out. They haven't put a song out. They building to put a song out and be like, yo, can I hit the radar? No. Like, who are you? Now do I not know you? Nobody knows you.
I'm my heart, sir.
You ain't do that. No, you not my heart. You not my heart. I don't even know you, fam. So you gotta at least have something out, building towards something, getting ready to release something, have a following us at very least. Because, you know what I mean? We're a platform that likes to build artists, but also have major artists. So at least you gotta be working towards something, not just, all right, I'm about to put out my first record, can I get on the radar? No. That's the first answer, no. Now, also me, I'm not the person to just tell somebody no, I tell them how they can build themselves.
Feedback, that's the F word that people don't want to talk about.
Feedback, yeah. If I really rock what you're doing, I might try to help build you. Like with On the Radar Records, we do a lot of upcoming artists. We try to make them primaries on them so they get the cross promotion on both platforms and then get an original record out of them, probably produced by like Fritz, the producer, or Jay, one of our, the lady Jay, one of our in-house producers, and put up on stream, just do splits between OTR, the artist, and the producer, you know what I mean, and try to help build you. At least that way when you come up, hopefully you have something to talk about, because there's an interview and a freestyle, you know what I'm saying? But if you just shooting in the wind with no type of structure, I'm gonna ignore you.
Absolutely. No, thank y'all for sharing. And now we heard from John Squared over here on artists, curation, and building up there. Tom, talk to me about what defines a good podcast to you. Everybody feels like they have the best idea. They're the funniest people. What is a good podcast?
I feel like it's subjective. Like what I may define as a good podcast may be different from everybody else in the room. But Honestly, if you feel like, I can give feedback on content. If I feel like, you can tweak on some or work on this or learn how to segue or do this differently, change the runtime, anything I feel like you can tweak, then I'll give feedback. But yeah, I feel like it's subjective. Like, again, it's going to be 200 different opinions. Like, your podcast may be good to him, but it may not be good to me. But if you feel like your podcast is good because this is the content you choose to put out, then who am I to tell you that it's not? I just may not be for me. Could be a whole different audience that is in tune with it. Thumbs up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll allow people to speak to kind of just feel like, this is what you want to do. Fine, I'll let you have that. But here's how you can do it better.
Absolutely. Y'all, I want some final thoughts. In a quick, concise sentence, what would you tell yourself 10 years ago?
It'll all work out.
Concise.
Yeah.
I would tell myself, at very least, don't worry about the distractions or whatever else say. Just stay consistent. There's been times where I took a break from the whole entertainment thing just to like, all right, I'm tired. But honestly, that consistency what got me here.
I would tell myself you made the right choices. I always feel like I do make the right choices, but the further cement that, it's like you knew what you was doing. Every step along the way, we knew what we was doing. So, yeah, my crazy part is I know my younger self would probably be like, we did it, didn't we? I'm like, yeah, we did.
I love that. Please give a round of applause for our panelists tonight. Thank y'all so much. Now, we do have some Q&A right now, so if y'all have questions, now is the time. Please find the mic right over here. So if y'all have any questions, please make your way to the mic, and we'd be more than happy to answer. Oh, now y'all shy?
I'll start it off. I got a question for y'all.
Period.
Absolutely. I want to start with all three of y'all. Y'all can answer separately. I want to know, what can you tell somebody who sneaks through the cracks, who slips that DM in there, who just gets your attention? What can you tell them to better approach you? Because we all know we don't like the DMs. We don't like certain messaging. What can you really tell that person so that they could do a better job?
I'll answer first. I'm actually I might be in the minority here. I'm actually not mad at the DM. Find a way to contact me. However you got to do it. Find a way to contact me. Write your number on the back of a receipt and throw it in my car or something. However you got to do it. Because I was once that person that was trying to find ways to slip through the cracks.
So what's your license plate?
Yeah. That's a little stalkerish. But yeah, find a way to do it, man. However you got to do it, do it. Again, like I said, I see myself in a lot of people, so I try to grant them the leeway to kind of just, like I don't turn people away. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll take the time to at least listen and hear you out. So yeah, find a way. That don't mean blow me up, but find a way. Like you were saying, like make it look good.
Make it good look, make it interesting. Like, a lot of people just come with you with the same spiel. I'm like, I heard this 100 million times. I hear this 100 million times a day. I'm the type of person that only play music in my car because I hear it every day.
Okay.
So like when you come to me, you got to be creative. I remember one guy when he came to, when he came to me, he met me outside a food truck. He did that, maybe outside a food truck in front of a party, and then he created a box for his promo, like with a promotional box. He asked me if I could give it to Gabe. So I gave it to Gabe. We did a whole unveil with it. It had like merch in there. It played the video in the background. It was crazy. I'm like, nah, you gotta come. You gotta come now. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like just be creative with it. I'm like, fuck it. All right, we got you. You know what I mean? But just to give me the same old spiel, like from New York, every day I hear the same thing.
My heart.
My heart. I'm fire. Check me out. Nah, make me want to check you out.
I'm not opposed to DMs. I just think similar to Tom, like I think the approach is what matters. Are you, even what John said earlier, are you providing links? Are you providing relevant information? So it's more than just, hey, please, support me. Hey, please get me signed. Hey, please help. So as long as you're providing relevant information, like I'm really not opposed to DMs, but understand that is also your introduction. That's also like, the first impression, right? So use it wisely.
I got one more question. Y'all have all worked with amazing talent that has skyrocketed, talent that has taken their abilities to the next level, right? What can you tell the person who isn't there yet that wants to get there, that wants to be a Mir Fontaine, that wants to be a Drake, that wants to be a Don't Call Me White Girl? What can you tell that person that's seeing that and they're saying, hey, I could do that too, outside of just the, you could do it, believe in yourself? What can you really tell that person?
I was one, like you said, believe in yourself. Really, I can't stress that enough. You really have to. Your faith can't be broken by anything. Like, it has to be as strong as anything else. You have to know that this is what you can do, not what what you can do and what you will do. That's what I always stress to people. But also, from like work on your craft. Like you have to constantly work on your craft. I missed a lot of fun events throughout the years that I wish I could have been at, but I was in the studio by myself with a laptop trying to figure some stuff out.
Wow.
Missed a bunch of parties. Couldn't go hang with my friends in the summertime. I'm going to work. I'm in the studio. I'm in the crib. I'm editing. So a lot of hours spent on things that sometimes people just don't feel like doing. Like a lot of people just fail at being consistent, and you cannot fail at being consistent. You have to do it. You have to do it.
Facts. I mean, to piggyback off that, in the short run, like, I can't believe in you more than you believe in you. Like, if you not out there working, like, you got me working overtime, then you talking about you don't want to show up for this, you want to show up for that. That don't make no sense to me. So just kind of believe in yourself, invest in yourself, because a lot of people want to have you do this and third, but they put no type of investment in themselves. Like, if you barely believe in you, why the hell would I? You know what I'm saying?
And you want my money?
Huh?
And you want my money?
And you want my... Exactly. You want me to spend my money, you want my time, you want everything from me, and you want to do half the work. That don't make no sense to me. And, you know what I mean? And like, they consistent putting in work. Shit, this plenty of times Gabe hit me like, yo, bro, let's go such and such. I'm like, boy, I'm doing work. You can go, but I'll see you later. If I can make it out there, I can make it out there. If I can't, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Tom and John hit it on the head already, but I think it's really just about consistency, working, being comfortable with being told no and understanding that a lot of, at least music industry in particular is about time, right? So, you might get a no today, but a year later it's a yes, so being able to continue to prepare for that moment, continue to work hard and have the right people around you and just having that mindset that it's going.
I want to say also, can I add, I don't know if this is like the closing remarks, but I also want to say too, guys, it's okay to take time, take your time. Don't rush through anything. I always tell one man's success does not make him a threat to yours. So don't pay attention to what nobody else is going on. You can take your time, work at your own pace. Work at your own pace. That's all I got to say.
If y'all don't mind me asking, everybody wants to make money, but nobody wants to talk money. How much or what should an artist or a podcast look to invest when starting up? For marketing, for production?
I mean, an artist, I think it just...
See, nobody wants to talk about it.
I think for an artist, it depends on, like... I mean, there's so many different factors, right? Whether it's a single, whether it's album, EP... and then just overall goals, right? Like, what are the goals based around? Is it based around streaming? Is it based around cultural impact, right? Like, because when you start identifying these different KPIs or key performance indicators, right? Talking about different types of money, right? So, I don't know if I have a specific number per se. I don't know if you guys either. But maybe for a podcast. You probably know like the number to set it up, and it
differs. I feel like because it isn't like a set number, in my head. It depends on like if someone grants you a budget or whatever the budget is, go to these places that fit under your budget or make it work. Find a way to make it work. It's kind of hard for me to answer that because I did it all. Like I was my own marketing, production, I knew how to do everything. So I came with everything already done. I was gonna do everything for myself. So, find a platform or find whoever you gotta go to, these blogs. It's a lot of ways on the internet right now to push your product strategically. It's a lot of ways on the internet. You just gotta do the research.
I mean, do the research. I say be strategic, really, because I can't really give you a dollar amount, but it varies for every artist too. Like I know for a fact a female artist costs more than a male artist just off the appearance alone. So just kind of, and also, like I said, believe in yourself, invest in yourself. A lot of artists I come into feel like they don't have to work, like physically, like have to get a day job. Like, yeah, if you have to go get you a day job and then record at night, that's a part of the hustle. Do that. You know what I mean? You have to make some type of income so you can invest in your craft. And especially if you don't have a team, be willing to do that. And you know what I mean? Budget yourself right. Make sure your money's set to the side for your bills. Make sure your money's set aside to your art. And, you know what I mean? And just be ready to move whenever you got to. You know, it's all about, you know what I mean, strategically planning for the future. Like getting investors if you have to, understanding the market. If you have a podcast and you put it up on YouTube, understand, all right, if I put this up, I get this many amount of views, how much would I get back? All right, so I put this towards this, that, and third. I gotta still work to cover this, that, and third. You know what I mean? You gotta get strategic with it. Just know your bills, know yourself, and put the work in, really. I can't give you a set number because everybody varies.
And I'm just really thinking about the artist that's like, yo, I have $1,000 for this music video and I spent $900 of it, but I need money for ads. You know, I feel like ads is the last thing that people think about. So that's what I was getting at.
I would say if you're decent enough, have a decent following, find you an intern, somebody who's in college or something who's willing to shoot a video because they need it for the credit. You know what I'm saying? And then put the rest of the money towards the ads.
And also, I think if you have to choose between shooting the music video and marketing, then maybe you shouldn't be shooting the music video. I think maybe then you should be shooting a visualizer, shooting something strictly 30-second, 45-second clip for social media. Because to be honest, people are watching Reels and TikTok and Shorts probably more than YouTube music videos anyway. So, you know, kind of knowing the market, knowing your audience, even possibly saving yourself some money.
I think it's because we all grew up with like music videos, so we feel like we all have to do like this full like 6-minute like saga.
But that, like I said, don't gotta be 6 minutes. Honestly, you could, depending on the record, you could take a whole camera, shoot it in the club, and put that joint out, or just have the cameraman follow you around while you going shopping. It don't gotta, like, too many people put too much in the music videos these days where it's not like a Benny Boom shooting the video. Like, you not gonna have a big ass budget for the video.
They want Spielberg.
Nah, you good. Get Joe Blow from down the block, get a camera, invest in a camera, if anything, and have your sister shoot it.
Yeah. Your team might be a videographer and a social media manager, honestly. Like, look at, like, Flyana Boss, right? The two girls that they performed the same song 7 different ways, 10 different ways, 20 different ways, right? They went to Disney World, they went to the supermarket, right? Like, they gave you the same song over and over until it was ingrained in your head and your memory, and then obviously that impacted, that made an impact for them.
Lola Brooks did the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got 2 more questions.
How's it going, fellas? Thanks for coming out tonight.
Hi.
Scarlet, what's going on? My name is Matthews, from Lower Bucks County, what we call just outside of Philly. In today's musical age, where it seems like the turnover for songs is happening so fast, where we have like, you know, classic artists, like, you know, the greats that are still dropping like once every 4 years. For artists that are just coming up, what would you say is the ideal, you know, time period between drops, or, you know, what can you say about creating that consistency in putting out music? Or if you were to advise your artists, like, what would that timeline look like between drops, and how frequent?
Yeah, so, I mean, 6,000 plus songs get dropped a day. So with that in mind, you know, there's a lot of competition. Now, of course, that's different genres of music, independent, mainstream, but I mean, I advise that my artists drop as often as possible. You know, some people do the weekly route, like, you know, kind of the Russ model. Other people, you know, once a month. So I think developing some type of consistency, so your audience or the audience that you're trying to develop have an expectation from you, right? So now they know, hey, I'm gonna check such and such Instagram or TikTok or whatever every Friday because I know they're gonna come out with something, right? And that's kind of how you build your community, your niche audience, right? So I think it starts with just that consistency, dropping as often as possible.
I mean, I agree with that. Like, we over at OTR adapted the NBA Youngboy model where we just kind of just keep on dropping every Friday if we can. Either it's gonna be a freestyle or original project. I would say if you're an independent artist, you probably want some time to promote the original project. So probably like a month, between every month and every 3 months, where you want to really drop. But just stay consistent with it, because you gotta think with these DSPs, which is what's running the music these days. There's like there's limited amount of people. Like there's not too many people are getting fired every day. A lot of layoffs are happening at DSPs. So it's really going off an algorithm. So the more you're able to feed the algorithm, the more you stay, in tune.
Music question, I mean, as a consumer, I can answer because I would say kind of stay in front of people every day. I feel like you want to be as visible as possible. You don't want to. You got to find a medium, I guess. You don't want to do it too often, to where as though you are oversaturating a field, but you also want to find a way to stay current and stay relevant. Because we live in a microwave era, man. So yeah, it's kind of finding a balance, I guess I would say.
Thank you. We got one more question.
One more.
Damn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sean. I'm from one of the greatest podcasts ever. That's absolutely about nothing. Yep, another podcast. The question I have for, I guess, each of you, what is your favorite thing about what you do? Or I guess the thing that makes you wake up every day to continue doing what you do every day? At least one thing.
My favorite thing about what I do, I get to prove people wrong or right every day. I love that more than anything. I ran into a lot of no's in my journey, like a lot of me just selling. I was selling this same show, this podcast. Yo, this could work, man. I need you to just listen to me. And there was a lot of nah. And then somebody finally took a chance on me and was like, all right, cool, what you got? And now I got to see my product in real life. And we just up the BET Awards. Did the red carpet, we did the media room. Don't Come Right, just did the Breakfast Club. So it was like, yeah, I like proving people wrong and right.
For me, it's really just the creative process from start to finish, just watching something grow and build from the ground up, really. From the beginning to the end, watching what we can do with the music videos, the sponsorships, OTR, and just the growth, because just in the past year, OTR as a whole has grown from dramatically. Really, just that's it. The build, it gives me a rush.
For me, it's just juggling the PR, but mostly artist management. Seeing my clients happy, right? Like us having these discussions, these weekly meetings, these phone calls, or whatever the case may be, talking about an idea, having this goal, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's extremely tangible, sometimes it seems a little far-fetched, but regardless, we're working towards it. So being able to accomplish these different things, seeing that, my client, the artist, whatever the case may be, is excited and happy because now they get to perform at this show, they get to perform at this festival, they get this opportunity that maybe they dreamed of a year ago or so, and it didn't really seem like it was, possible. So that's what makes me happy.
And just to round us out, one more. What's hot?
Well, I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm gonna go first.
Hot is his bladder.
Hey. Really, just about paying attention. Really, especially what I do. You just gotta keep your eye on the vibes. Really, you see right now a lot of the Detroit beats are coming to the forefront. And this is after the whole drill wave. So like a lot of times this year we're having a conversation like this summer if the drill wave is gonna stick around. And it's kind of, we feel like been fizzling out. You see the Jersey Club records come to our forefront. You see Detroit records come to our forefront. And just keep your eye open and your ears open to what's hot. Like just out here in Philly, we have some people that weren't, didn't have that top notch, look. But sonically, they sound like, nah, they got it. They need a little push. So just keep your eye on what's coming next, really, and just keep your ears to the streets.
Is he able to walk off?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Three
yeah,
words
so
or less.
Yeah. So I guess that's the answer. What I'm personally looking for, passion, like your commitment to the craft. Are you putting in work? Before asking for help. But obviously, to your question, because you asked about metrics, a lot of people are looking at numbers. Record labels are looking at numbers. Like to what John said, right? Like Jersey Club, Detroit beats, especially African and Latin music is especially hot right now, right? And that's what a lot of labels and the powers that be, that's what they're looking for right now. But once again, for me personally, it's that passion, being able to do something unique, and being able to recognize your own story a little bit, before someone else comes in and tells you, what you should be doing.
I would say it's subjective once again. I feel like everything is subjective. What's hot to you? What's hot to you, or is it hot to us? So I feel like if you feel like it's hot to you, cool. See what you can do with it. Find a way to make it work. Put it in front of give it to the audience. Give it to the people. See what the reception is. And yeah, I feel like everything is kind of subjective to a point. It's just about how you want to market it and strategically just push it around, I would say. So yeah, I feel like it's a balance.
Let's give it up one more time for John Wigfall, John Nurse, Tom Manning. My hearts.
Yeah.
Be safe, be good, be kind, and thank y'all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.